What's up everybody, welcome to Marty Motoring. I just wanted to make this quick video because a lot of people requested it, a transmission update on my Lexus IS350 after replacing the line pressure booster valve with a Sonex one and doing new fluid and a new filter. And there's a couple other things I want to do to my car today, so stay tuned. We can get on it a little bit. Seems to be a lot more responsive, which is nice. I don't notice like a crazy difference. I just notice that it's smoother and a little bit more responsive. So should you do the Sonex line pressure booster valve kit, whatever the heck it's called, I think so. If you're running more than stock power. If you're not, I don't think you need it. It's not worth the extra labor and parts if you're not really going to use it. But if you're pushing high power or you really beat up your transmission, maybe. Under power, you can see it shifts very nicely. I can't really go fast because obviously traffic, trying to be a responsible driver here. Now we're just cruising along and it feels like a normal car because we're not in boost. So that's a little bit on the transmission. Now we're headed to the shop. We're about like a minute away. I have most of this apart just because this runs under the carpet and in a grommet over there, and then it hooks into the exhaust, and this goes up to the wideband gauge. So we have to replace that. And then in the rear here, we did some license plate stuff. I got a cover and some decals. Just makes it look a whole lot cleaner back there. We got the doors open at the shop. Just gonna pull this in. This is a very rudimentary makeshift shop. It's literally just an old warehouse, but it is a nice spot to wash cars and work on them. I mean, it's not nice, it's not clean and bright, but hey, it's a spot. Pull in back to the spot that, if you've seen my previous videos, you've seen this spot. All right, so we got the car jacked up on a jack stand, and the front sensor right there is what we're replacing. I got my little carpet down so I don't have to lay on the dirty floor. So this actually broke free relatively easily. So this can pop off. Now we can take this whole sensor out. And now up here, the car is pretty dirty, so ignore that. But I took all the side molding and everything like that off, just so that we could lift the carpet up. So what I ended up doing was just cutting the connector. It wouldn't fit through the hole, but this would. But this was zip tied, so I cut the connector, fished everything out, finally got under, cut the zip ties that were on here. And you can see this thing is it's pretty twisted. I don't know that it's broken, but well, now it is. But we might keep it for parts. This did rip as I was trying to pull it through. So there were some obvious reasons why this needed to be replaced. But as far as that, I don't know if that looks good or bad or fouled or what. So let's look at the new one. So here is the new one. Looks nice and clean. It does have a zip tie as well there. Connector is the same, and it looks good. So over here, what I actually had to do, let me get the light, is pop all this carpet up so that I could access this grommet where the O2 sensor goes in. But now we're not only fitting this O2 sensor, we're fitting the one for the wideband. So you can see the grommet is trimmed for that reason. I moved the grommet a little bit and I see that there's like a little indentation. We're gonna be careful with these wires, but it looks like this actually fits through. So yeah, wow, cool. We got the new sensor with a lot of slack. I'm gonna start threading that in. So what I'm gonna do is turn it a bunch to the left so that when it goes in here, hopefully, kind of fixes itself. That doesn't look half bad. Let's tighten it up. So now we just have to secure these wires. I'm gonna feed the slack through the hole, get that all lined up. Maybe we'll just zip tie it to the O2 sensor. Not sure. They had it zip tied to the fuel line. I'm not sure what the difference really is there. And back up top here, we have the connector that can get connected. And what we'll have to do is put this wire into the grommet so that it's nice and protected. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Now we can connect these guys, and this will be hidden under the plastic. This will be hidden under the carpet, and everything will go where it needs to go. And now the carpet is back. I just did kind of piece by piece, and then this all kind of just gets tucked in and placed. You have to go over the pedal, kind of goes through that hole there, the gas pedal, and then the brake just kind of goes around under. This all sits here. The dead pedal has some connections, and then this kind of just will sit there and connect in. And here we have our wires, and there's enough like slack in here where the other connector can sit. And now under the car here, I zip tied this. The grommet looks good. Everything's out of the way of the exhaust, so I think we're good. All right, and now the car is dirty, but it's done. It's put back together, snapped all that back in. We can put the floor mat back in, the dead pedal, and then I gotta clean this thing up. I have a matte black piece. I wanna do vinyl. There's a bunch of little things I just wanna get addressed. I got these decals finally in the mail, and I put them on and they look great. Really the last step is to get the car in the ground, but we also have to calibrate the new O2 sensor for the wideband. So that is something I'm also going to be doing. I think we're gonna put the car down, do the windshield banner, then pull it outside and wash it if it's not raining. So it's the next day. This video is all over the place. I've been doing a lot of house renovations too, which is kind of why I haven't uploaded as many videos as I kind of want to or should. I try to get one out a week, but anyway, I drove the car again today and it's doing a lot better, but the reading is still wrong for the wideband O2 sensor. I need to calibrate it, so I finally found directions on how to do that. So I'm gonna do that next. There's just always something. There's always something extra. So it's a few days later. It's been raining here a lot. I got the car up on the lift because I realized I need to calibrate the wideband sensor, the O2 sensor. And to do that, you have to have it free air, so unplug. So now I have the car up in the air so I can easily do that. And it looks good wet. It actually looks clean, but it's not. And when I was pulling onto the lift, I kind of nicked this, so that sucks. We'll have to try to get a new one of these, get it painted, and then put that back on. But that's just kind of what happens, especially in small, tight spaces like this. And yeah, the car is quote unquote show ready, although the show that I had registered for, I don't think I'm actually going to participate in. I'll probably still check it out, but you have to be there for like 8 hours, and I have stuff to do and I can't leave my car there for 8 hours. And it's gonna rain all day. So that means that I'm not gonna be going to that. But it was nice because it kind of pushed me to get a few things done on this car that I've been wanting to do. So we're almost ready for quote unquote show season. Not that I'm gonna be showing this much, but it's just nice to have it all ready and all done. We got the underglow on. And also we're going to Ocean City, Maryland Cruise Week. So this car will be ready and I'll be able to cruise around. So looking at the transmission, everything looks good. Everything we did, I don't see any leaks or anything. So that's always a good thing. We have our wideband here, which we were just working on, but I need to get this off of the car, let it kind of just hang. We might clean it up since it's been in there non-calibrated, which is not recommended. But once I get this off, I can just unclip it from up there in the car, so we'll lower the car, do that, do the calibration sequence, put it back in, and we should be good to go. Now that I disconnected it under the car, it's just hanging, free air, lowering the car so that I can disconnect it from in the vehicle, and we can do the calibration process. Got the O2 sensor, the wideband back in. Here's my normal O2 sensor, and here's the wideband. Just put it back in, it's all calibrated, so now we can test it. I also got an exhaust issue fixed out. My exhaust was opposite of each other. The polarity was reversed. So one was opening one valve and one was closing. So now they're both open. The car does have power right now. We're gonna set it on the ground. I got some rotors for spacing, just because I really didn't want to crunch up my factory side skirts. Now we can put the car in neutral and just roll it right off. And now the car is down off of the lift, and we got all the plastic panels back in place. Sensor wires are hidden in there. Everything is back on and looking good. It's never really the same once you take it apart, but there we go, we're calibrated. It's saying heater, that means it is heating up to operating temperature. And there we go, there's our wideband. I'm gonna back this thing out, hopefully without any other incidents. This is always a very tight spot, and there's a little bump to get over the lift. I really don't want to bang up my car today. I think we're gonna do a 1,000,000 turn here. This is just a very tight spot to get into. Hopefully nobody else is getting anxiety from watching this. We are clear. What you doing?
Where's the carbon fiber?
And there's Freddy's ISF. We're gonna park next to that. I must have it closed right now. Let me open her up. Oh yeah, much better. Definitely feels a lot better. I think there was an issue before with back pressure because of one valve closed, one open. I feel like it was just, the balance was off. This feels like, oh, so much better. This feels like how it should, and it's much louder, which is fun. I mean, I can make it quieter, but why do that? Forgot to mention, as far as the sound system goes, I hooked up the subwoofer in the back. I found a factory connector off an old speaker, and I hooked it all up because it's an aftermarket sub. It's a Pioneer. It's nice. It sounds so much better. I also ran the exhaust wires through the center console, and it's all underneath this, plugged into the cigarette lighter, T-tapped right in there. And yeah, it just works perfectly now. It's seamless. The remote controls everything. We got that exhaust valve fixed. It just feels good when you kind of figure out the actual issues going on with your car and what is plaguing it. It feels much better now. I think it's much happier. But like I said, next thing to do is point these lights, race an ISF, maybe enter some shows. We'll see. So I'm back home now. Hopefully this is the last of the stuff I have to do to the IS350 just to have it ready for this spring season, car show season, whatever you want to call it, all that. It's been kind of like a little bit here, a little bit there. I think with the last 3 Lexus videos, we're finally where it needs to be. I probably keep saying that, but it's getting closer and closer and better. So with each video, we progress a little more and make the car better. As I've been saying the last couple months, there's always something. With tuning a car, modified car, there's just always something going on. There's always something to do. So that's just part of the process. But if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Helps the channel out. Hit that subscribe button to follow along with more videos. That also helps me out. You can follow me on Instagram at Marty Motoring. I'm always posting updates there, and you can message me and everything like that. We can follow each other, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep those wheels turning.